Hello, what's up guys? Jeffy the Boomer here, back with another Minecraft video. And today, if you want to learn how to build something as cool or as intricate or detailed as this, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to teach you how to build 5 times better with 5 super simple and easy steps. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so today we're going to start off with the worst house that you could possibly make. And I'm sorry for all those people who make houses like this. If you have a house shaped just like this big square, it's going to end up looking something like this at the end, where you can't even jump. So that's a real issue, and if you want to improve your builds from this to something way better, then first step that we have here, instead of building just a regular square, add little shapes onto it. For example, we have the big square that you guys can clearly see. Just add a small square over here, a smaller square over here, a bigger square over here, and then just round the edge, or do anything like that. It can be any shape you want. This is the design I'm going with for today, but you guys can go with any other design. Now, if you were to build that up, it would look something like this, and you'd be like, wait, hold up, why isn't the roof the same? Important notice, you know when you see skylines, like city skylines, how the buildings are all different heights? The cubes on these, the little and the rounded edges, can all be at different heights. So here we have this. This is shorter than this. Over here it's a little bit shorter than this. And then we have the rounded edge. Another thing, you need to keep in mind how much space you're gonna put for your floors. Me personally, I put 4 blocks for each, like a space between floors. It is really helpful because then you don't get odd things. So over here we have a 3-high floor. We will still touch our head to the roof, so it's a little bit awkward. But when we put a window in, it's a little bit weird because the window goes up to the roof. Some windows should be in the middle of the roof. This is fine because you have a couch, and usually the windows behind couches are like that. So this is 3 blocks. Up here, you can kind of see what I'm saying. This window is really, really odd because it touches the roof, and you wouldn't normally see that in the kitchen. But now if we move up here, this is actually a 4-block room. The others were 3. And as you can see, we have a block up there and a block down here, and then we have the 2 glass in the middle. It really helps your build when you have a little bit of symmetry in the height of things. So yeah, make sure you can do 3 spacing for rooms, but I highly recommend 4. 4 is so much better. Okay, so now back over here, we have 4 blocks in between each floor. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to work on the roof. Alright, so roofs. Roofs are a complicated thing. They can be really hard to do. For example, we did have this curved bit, so we're just gonna do this. No. See, if you're starting playing Minecraft, you might build a roof something like this, because maybe the controls are a little bit hard, or it's hard to gather resources or something like that. A couple easy ways to improve your roof, which I'll show you in a second, is staircases. Staircases are the holy grail of roofs. So right now, let's just say we had our roof that we have over there. So we just have the bunch of blocks. Everybody see this? Yeah, so we have the bunch of blocks, right? What we can do to make our roofs look so much better is just add staircases on top. So like over here, just add a line of staircases. And then it looks more and more and more roof-like. See? But then that's not all. The front of this was super flat. So that's not very good. We don't want flat things. We need some depth and perception. So what we can do is we can take the staircases and pull them out one block. And then we build our pyramid-like thing with that. And then from underneath, you see the staircases like this, you'd put a staircase backwards like that to make a more overhang kind of thing. And then we can do that on the other roofs. And then we can bring this roof, which would be this one over here, we can bring this one all the way up here, fill in that space, and then bring it down. And then we can bring this one up and over to the side. A quick cut. And then at the back we had that curvy part, you know, and that was really weird. What we can do with that is we can actually take slabs. We can take slabs and we can curve it around. We basically take our one center point, which would be here, and we build out a couple blocks, and then we build down and down and down, like a staircase. See, we go up it, just like we go up these staircases. And then we can curve it around and smoothen it out on the very edge here and have an overhang for this. So now you've got this kind of nice and smooth roof instead of something like this where it kind of up and curve and up and curve and up and curve. So next step. Next step is structure. You need to have structure and beams and details and depth. This is nice, all right? I'm gonna say it right now. This is nice. This is good. But there's no other block except wood or a wooden substance. There's even like these doors, which are a little bit different, but everything else is planks and has the same texture as planks. And again, even though we have the roof, if we get rid of the roof or don't look at it, it's still all flat. So we need to add beams and other things that would help make the build pop. So a tip when you're doing this is to take the corners of it. So things like that corner would be this corner. And you would then take all of the logs or any block that you would need and build pillars like this up, so that it gives it a pillar effect, so it looks like it actually has some support instead of looking like that. And then we can also section off some areas where we could maybe put like a window, and we make it into basically a bunch of cubes, but the cubes are cut off by the roof or something else. For example, this could be a cube. It could go up like this and then over here and down, but the roof cuts it off so it looks like a triangle. And then you add the little bit of log up there, it really makes it look like this was once a solid square. Same goes for like here, just make it a small square and then we can put something there afterwards. Now the tricky part here, we have the circular roof. Here is kind of what you want to do when tackling a circular roof. You want to have it like beamed, but you only want to do one block. You don't want to do this. That looks too thick. You want to have it so that it just lightly curves around and it looks really natural. And then right here, it's basically we're taking a box. It's like it's all squares, guys. They're just all cut. They're all rectangles and stuff. They're just all cut. So imagine this is a square. You just chop the little bit of a corner off, and then do wood. And then you bring the wood up so that it frames most of this wood. You don't want to have an overhang on something like this. And then the rest of the build, or the beaming, is pretty simple. If you need to go back and rewind the video, then you can, or slow it down or anything like that. Take pictures, I'm all for it. But yeah. Next step. So this is actually kind of part of the step before with the beams. You need to have holes and some decorative stuff in your building. You can't just have it, again, this is nice, but do you really just want to have this? Like, this is nice. If someone were to live in it, I'd be like, nice. But it's still really flat in some areas. Like the bigger areas, like up there, it's so flat. So what you want to do with a different block, it could be dirt, cobblestone, stone, sand, any block, doesn't really matter, but you want to mark out where you want to put your windows. And then also you can do some extra beaming and stuff in places that you want to do it, like maybe up here. And then you want to take some dirt, and it needs to be dirt this time, and you want to put it where you might want to put flowers on your house or something decorative. So we'll have a window here, and then we'll have some flowers. We'll have a window here and some flowers. We'll have some flowers. We'll have some flowers here. We'll have 2 windows here. We'll have some windows up here. Window, then flower, and so on and so on and so on. And then what you want to do is you want to take these poles and stuff and make it into this. You want to add glass, and it can be a glass block or glass pane. Doesn't matter right now. Then you want to add flowers to all your spots, and this will be substituted later, but I'm just adding that there because we need something there, because I'm not going to put glass there, I'm going to put something else there. But then we have all these, see? And then we have the glass and everything. So make sure it all fits really well together and that it doesn't look awkward, and that you put the flowers in the right spot. This step is pretty easy. You're basically just going over your last step and filling it in. Yeah, but then the next step, my oh my, this is a big jump, and you guys might be looking at this and be really overwhelmed right now. Do not click off the video. I promise you, this is way easier than it looks to transform that into this. This is it's actually pretty simple. So first we're gonna start with one step at a time going through this. Okay, I'm gonna talk you through it. So all the glass that you placed in, I want you to replace it all with panes. And it can be different colored panes, or it can be just the normal pane color, it doesn't matter, or you can change it later. But replace it all with panes. This is how you add depth. See, there's this little gap here. This is how you add depth into your build. With the glass, it is just another flat surface. You might as well have just left it as wood. Next thing, you want to make sure that any parts of the wood that connect, you're adding trapdoors or something to identify that this is a corner and it's being connected by something. So these areas here and these areas here. Also, you may notice I don't have them here. You do not have to add them every single spot. Your build will get way too overcrowded and it will be disgusting to look at. Unless you are going for a really highly detailed build, those can be great. So if you're doing a very highly detailed build, do it on every single post. It'll look amazing for those. But for the build I'm going for, we would not want to put that there. And we also don't have it here. And yeah. Next thing we want to do is we have the dirt with the flowers in it, right? So now what we want to do is we want to add trapdoors to each side of the grass block, because this will make it look like it's a plant trough thing. You know what I mean. I'm blanking on the name. But then also here we have some other designs where you take stairs, trapdoors, and then more stairs, and it's you can put it in to fill a blank area. Some areas are still going to need more detailing than others later. Also, these areas where you have gaps in between, put fence posts. It's a great way to detail that. This side, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Making it too busy. This is just borderline for the build I want to do. It's just busy enough. If I made this any busier with like trapdoors there or buttons or something, no. I'm telling you right now, I'm just gonna say no to it. I would not put, I would not and am not going to put anything else on here that would make it look too busy. Too busy for this build is not good. Yeah, so then we swing around the back and we have more of that, and then we got more flowers. This trick, these are actually full glass blocks. As you can see, these are full glass blocks. Panes don't work well when you're doing a circular area. So what you can do, I'm gonna sneak back here. You can take, it doesn't really matter. Trapdoors, slabs, staircases. You can put anything there, and then you just put glass behind, and it looks really nice for a window. Yeah, this is really nice because it's more of a, it has wood all around it, and it's like a little nook or cranny or whatever. So it's a really comfortable vibe from inside when you would put something there, because it's nice and small and you can look at it, and you could put like custom trees over here to get a great view or something like that. Next thing, this was a really blank area, I'm gonna say, and I did not know what to detail it with. This is a design that I actually came up when I was just putting stuff here. This is a really nice design. If you take fence posts and then a staircase upside down and put it against the wall, and then put plants and pots on top, it looks really nice, and it's not a blank area anymore. Now we have this center window up here. Another thing you guys might know, it's the same trick as we did for the circular thing. It could be a square though. This could be a square and we could have done the trick. It doesn't really matter. But what you do is kind of the same thing. You have the glass at the back, but you have it behind trapdoors and staircases or slabs or anything like that. Yeah, so you can just pause the video here or replay it or anything if you need to know how to do something, or if you want to copy any of the ideas that I have, then you can do that. But we're gonna move on to the next thing. Alright, so this is the part of the build, I know you can only see the grass. This is the part of the build where it's your turn to do whatever you want with the build. This part is all personal preference, okay? I'm not gonna tell you to do this or that or add something like that. This is personal preference. So the build that I came out with was this. I absolutely love this build, and as you can see, I have added my own custom things from when we had that to this. I did add some dripstone blocks and some hanging roots to make it look like it was overgrown. There is some spore blossoms on the inside, which you cannot obtain in survival, so don't worry about those. But spore blossoms to add effects and stuff like that. I made two little custom trees, and I grew some stuff and made a path, added some candles. But yeah, this is the part of the build where you decide what you want. There's no secret formula to this or any way that would help you in this. It's just be yourself and put what you want to put in it. I'm gonna do a quick zoom around. As you can see, we now have a garage for here and some other things, but this is the part of the build where you get to do whatever you want and add some life to it. Something that really helps a build is actual physical moving objects, like these little particle thingies right here, these little green particles. Those really bring this build to life and add some movement. If I am walking here, these candles, they add movement to the situation because they're flaring and they're moving. Yeah. Also add greenery to this. That's an important tip, but it's all about personal preference with this, guys. I can't stress it enough. It's whatever you want to put in it, and just add life to the build. This build over here it looked like it was good. You could live in this and be happy with it, but it had no life. This has movement and life, and it has extra detail that you wouldn't normally see. Like, for example, you have to kind of figure this out yourself. Like, the dripstone is like rotting wood, and then there's like there's like the roots coming out of it, or like splinters of wood, whatever you can think of. And then there's like some areas like up here where there's like a little lounge chair and some of this, like, oh, is this a gardening area or something like that? You have to add life into your build. It is the most important thing that you can do. Nobody, well, some people might, but not a lot of people are gonna like your build, and you might not even like your build if you don't add life to it. Adding life to it makes it 100% better. And here we have the final product of just the house without the leaves. This house, I love it. It looks so good. We are missing some ground details like the driveway there, but that's okay. This house, I love it. This has taken me a little while to do, but it has been so fun to teach you guys, or hopefully teach you guys how to build. But see, you'll be building stuff like this in no time if you watch this video like once or twice. If you miss something, share it to your friends, because then y'all can have a really cool server that would have beautiful builds. I'm not doubting your guys' ability right now. I'm saying for the people who want to improve their build, then watch this and take my advice from this. And we're gonna go back to the floor thing. So as you can see here, I actually have a staircase on top, or a staircase leading up. So it's this is where the staircase, or that's where the floor would be. So the first 2 blocks would be like floor area and stuff. This is for people who would do floors in 3. So we would have 1 floor here, floor, space here, floor, space here, floor, space here, and floor. So we would end right here, just on this stair here. So we would have still a little bit of space left. Now the people who do their floors in 4s, hey, that rhymes. There would be space here, floor, space here, floor, space here, floor, space here, floor. And we would actually get just right to the top of the build. Right here to right here, not even being bumped by the floors or anything. And we would have the same amount of floors, but you're taking up the most space, which is what you want with the 4 space floors. So yeah, make sure you keep that in mind. And yeah, here's the build. I'm gonna do a quick one more wrap around just so that you guys can see. Alright, but this is where we are going to end it off today. I hope you did enjoy. If this did help you, please give it a like. That would help me so much. And also, if you did enjoy, please consider subscribing. It's free, it's worth it, and you can always unsubscribe later if you choose to. Yeah, but I hope this was a help to you, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Hello, yeah, this video actually took me like weeks to do because I actually figured out that you could clone buildings, but I built all the buildings by hand. So, if you could please consider subscribing, that would really be nice because this took me a week to do. Why don't I just use commands?